Hello everyone, ToonySA here. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're participating in one of our upcoming races. I want to avoid what happened last time in Spyro 2, where we had a couple of people not do exactly the setup that we want to make my life easier, and poor Katote, who had to help pick up the pieces from some mistakes made. So I'm just making this video to make it clear exactly how we set up to do things. So the first thing we need, of course, is a visual recorder. I've got OBS open now, you can see it. And this is what's going to be used to record your video. Usually we're playing PS1 games, right? So the output of the video is going to be the output of the video is going to be 640 by 480 or 960 by 720. They are 4:3 aspect ratios, and you can dick around with making your video fit square perfectly. If there are some black borders, don't be too upset about that because I can crop them out. That's not too much of an issue. The main thing is just getting the aspect ratio correct so that the videos aren't overly big. If you record in this size, example 1920 by 1080, the size of the video is quite large, which is far from ideal. You also want to set your video to FLV. Mine set to MP4 for this tutorial because it's a short video. But I would advise you set it to to FLV. The reason being is if an MP4 recording crashes OBS while you're recording, which is probable if you're doing a 2-3 hour video, it could happen. It's happened to me before. MP4 files will be completely lost and you can't then send me any of your visuals. So if you set that to FLV, it does set that so that it will save up until the crash, which is great. And then what you do is after you finish the video and you're going to send it to me, before you send it, you will use something like Handbrake, or you can remux it using OBS so that you can change it to an MP4 file for sending purposes. It will be a smaller file and it will be a lot more accessible to me because FLV files can't be opened in Vegas. So they can't be edited. So yeah, that's the stuff for here. If you can edit the bit rate, you want the bit rate to be at least 2000 kilobytes per second. I'm not going to show you that here, but that's something you should also bear in mind. If it's less than 2000, the quality is probably not going to be very good. If it's like more than 5000, yeah, the quality will improve, but the size will also improve quite dramatically with each 1000 you add on top. So 2 to 5000 is what I'd say is a good amount. So that's the visual recording. For audio, we did allow some people to use OBS for audio recording in the past as well. They just muted their mic sorry, they just muted the speakers and then left their mic, so only their mic was being picked up. I'm going to actually rule that out now as something to do in the future because that's kind of what I let happen in the Spyro race and it didn't work. So you must now, it's compulsory, use OBS. Sorry, you must use Audacity, not OBS. OBS is for visuals. Audacity, you must use this for recording your microphone. So Audacity is set so that it will just pick up you and it won't pick up your speakers or other people talking. Unless you're sat really close to your mic, then it may pick up the sound of our voices through your earphones or headphones. So just bear that in mind. Don't sit way too close to your mic where we might be heard through the mic. So the first thing you want to do when you download Audacity, you can download it here at fosshub.com. Yeah, it's really straightforward. You'll want to file, save project, and save project as, and then just save the project. Like, this is very similar to the FLV thing, where it means if your Audacity crashes, which again has happened to me in the past, it will save up until the crash. So we don't lose all of your audio and then we cry because we can't hear your voice anymore. So that's audio. So the other thing you want to check is this alternates how sensitive your mic is. So before a video, you'll want to press record like this and just check the waves. If they're really small, it means that you can barely be heard. You want it to be in the middle point. Conversely, you don't want to set it to the maximum and then be like this because the waves will be really big and it will sound really horrible. You also want to make sure you're not accidentally set to stereo mix, because that won't pick up anything either. By default, it's not set to stereo mix, so that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, once you're finished with Audacity, you'll press stop, and then you'll file, export, and export it as an MP3 or a WAV file. MP3s are smaller, but it does mean I do have to convert them to WAVs because After Effects doesn't like MP3s very much. So you can send it to me as a WAV or an MP3. If you've got bad internet, maybe it's smart to send it to me as an MP3 and I'll convert it my end. Or if you can afford to send it by WAV, then you should. But yeah, that's how the audio and visuals work. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me about that. The last thing I'll talk about is the etiquette of how we start our races. So the first thing that your host of your group will say, whoever is hosting the race, is they'll ask you to start your audio recording all together at the same time. So they might say, okay, everyone get Audacity ready and press record in 3, 2, 1, record. And you'll try and click as close together as possible to help us with syncing. Your host will then say again, all right, now we're going to do an audio sync. After 3, everyone say sync at the same time. 3, 2, 1, sync. This is like a backup in case anyone was really slow or too fast doing the initial sync of recording at the same time. All right, that pretty much sums up audio. Once you're all recording audio at the same time, it's a smart idea for the host to also then say, all right, let's start recording video at the same time. So they'll say 3, 2, 1, start recording video, and you click record down here on the video as well. It's optional, but hosts can also do like a visual sync, just like a backup similar to the Audacity one. Like the person will say up, down, up, down, up, down, something like that. And on the game, maybe you're on a character to select or something like that. Or if it's like a game like Spyro, you might say jump, jump, jump. And you're jumping at the same time as saying it, so that we can, again, match up gameplay as good as possible, as well as possible, I should say. So that like you don't see a video where someone dies and they say, "Oh fuck, I died," and then like 5 seconds later is when they actually die. So yeah, a visual sync is also really helpful. I'm probably going to utilize that a lot more in future races and not just go off people pressing record at the same time, because I found it to not always work. So that's how syncing works. One other thing about etiquette is if I say a race is starting at X amount of time, like a race is starting at 9 o'clock or wherever, what you want to do is you want to make your way to the setup lounge about 15 to 30 minutes, preferably 30 minutes before a race if possible. The setup lounge is where we will talk about any issues people are having with recording. So if you are set up and you're ready to go and you've got no issues, then you can just go straight over to racing or one of the groups if we're doing a group race, like so. But for those of you that maybe are a bit unsure about something or have some questions or need help setting up in any way, I will try my best to be in the setup lounge at least around 30 minutes before a race, so that we can all make sure we try and start on time as best as we can. If a person's like bordering on 5 minutes late to a race start time, we're probably going to assume you're not coming, and we'll probably start without you. I think 5 minutes is the max amount of time we are going to really set for waiting on people over the race start time. So yeah, as I said before, any questions, drop me a message. I hope this video has been useful. Then you just send me your files via Dropbox or Google Drive or Mega, wherever you want. If your file is super huge, you will want to encode it. If it's like more than 5 gigabytes and the race is like an hour and a half long or something like that, you may want to encode it a little bit using Handbrake to reduce the size for your own sanity uploading it and for my sanity downloading it. All right, I hope you all enjoyed the race. We've got Crash 3 Gem Race. That's the one that's coming up tomorrow. So yeah, good luck to everyone in that, and please make sure that you understand how to go about what we're doing. Peace.